Good morning, friends, netizens, and all the viewers. Today, our topic is about practical driving tests in the United Kingdom and what to expect during the test based on my experience. Um, well, guys, I've been driving for 1 year and over 1 year with my driving instructors, and I took my theory test as I said to you in my last vlog that I I already done my theory test, but in the first time, guys, I did not make it. So but in the end I did it, so I already passed my theory test. And then I attempted to tell to my instructor that I'm ready for my practical driving test. But according to him, I need more I need more I need more experience on the road. So I listened to what he said. So, and then aside from that, guys, I have a good friend of mine who sit beside me, and then I have a private lesson as well, about 2 hours a week. That's what I'm doing. So, and then um, I have to prepare also myself on the show me tell me questions, because on the driving seminar will ask you one show me, which is you are going to show your show me tell me question, like show me how to use your horn, show me how um, to use the a lot of you can see that in the book, guys, that show me tell me questions, and then show me and then tell me one tell me questions. And then I have to review that in the book. I have a book that I bought, but I did not bring with me. There are 25 questions that you need to know. And also the standard of the tire. What is the measurement standard of the tire? You have to know all of those, guys, because that's what they asked me in my test. So our topic is what to expect in the practical driving test. Once you have passed both parts of your theory test, you can apply for practical tests. The practical test is all about making sure that those who pass are competent and safe in their basic skills of driving. So before you attempted to book your practical driving test, guys, you make sure you know yourself that you are competent already, and make sure that you are safe driver, and then you can control the car, because the requirements for passing your test is your combination of your practical skills and your mental understanding, because the road is a risky road, so you need to make sure that you are safe as well as your passengers. So you'll be asked, and then before the test, guys, you already have booked that in your computer, because I booked that in computer. Make sure you have a lot of practice with your driving instructor, all kinds of roads, all different kinds of situation, like rainy seasons, not only in a good weather but also in a bad weather. So you need to how to expect all of those, so you know how to use your wipers, you know how to use your heating, like kind of those stuff, guys. So if your eyesight test, your driving test begins with eyesight test. You have to be able to read a normal number plate, a minimum distance of 20.5 meters, or about 67.5 feet. So if you fail the eyesight test, your driving test will stop at that point, and you have you will have a failed. So based on my experience, guys, I arrived there in the test centers 10 minutes before the test with my driving instructor. And then they asked me to sign a declaration form. So make sure when you sign a signature of that declaration form, it's the same signature what you put in your provisional driving license. And there, because I noticed it, guys, they check it if it's the same signature. So you have to make sure that you have the same signature that you sign in your provisional onto that declaration form. A declaration form, guys, is declaring that the car that you are using is insured. So the one that I used that time is the car that time I'm using with my driving instructor. My driving instructor car. That's what I'm using in my test. So you have your what to bring on during the test. So you need to bring your provisional driving license and then your past test certificate. But some test centers, if you already pass your theory test, they knew it already because they had it in the system. And then if you, that's only what I bring based on my experience. So guys, and then before the test, I remember that they asked me to read a plate number of a car into that distance. It's a quite distance, guys. So make sure your eyes is healthy. Make sure you go to, if you have a problem with your eyesight test, make sure you be better to be checked before you do your test, because otherwise, guys, you will lose your money on your and then that's your money, because it's a lot of money. You should make a lot of preparation before you do your practical driving test. So I tell you already, guys, that in that test they will as an examiner will ask you one show me and one tell me question. I don't know what examiner I get that day. You don't know what who is your examiner. It's a random selection. So you are not the one who will you will select your examiner. They're already appointed examiner that they will do with you. So they will introduce the examiner will introduce his or her name, and then yeah, you will and then he explained also what to expect during the test. So based on my experience, guys, the driving test, during the test, you will be expected to drive for about 40 minutes along normal roads following the direction of the examiner. So in my experience, guys, if you don't follow the road they are telling, some examiners is not happy about it. So you should be alert on what they're saying. Otherwise, they will, you should follow what the examiners telling you. It's better, so it will go smoothly. So your examiner will select a suitable areas for you to carry out the set exercises. So he or she will tell you to pull up and stop. Then or she will explain the exercise to you before you do it. You may or may not perform to us or emergency stop. You will be asked to perform 2 reversing exercises selected by the examiner from reversing round corner, reverse parking behind a car park or into a marked bay, turning into the road. So throughout the test, the examiner will be assessing whether you are competent at controlling the car, whether you are making normal progress for the roads you are on, and then how you react any hazards that occur in the course of the test, whether you are noticing all the traffic signs, all the signals, the road markings, and reacting to them in the correct manner. So in order to pass, guys, in this driving test, you must, without committing any serious fault. So if you got one serious fault, you failed the test. So without committing more than 15 errors or less serious nature, if you commit 10 minors, you still pass the test. If you commit 14 minors, you still pass the test. So if during the test you do not understand what the examiner says to you, ask him or repeat the instruction. Don't be shy, guys, because that's your money. You have to ask to your instructor if you don't understand the instruction, because it's a lot of money. So you don't be shy. That is my advice. So if you face with unusually difficult or hazardous situation in the course of your test, the result is in you making a driving fault. So the examiner will take the circumstances into account when making you for the part of the test. So how to prepare the practical test? Be sure that you are ready to take your test. So this is where you're choosing a reliable, qualified driving instructor is vital. So based on my experience, guys, during the 40 minutes drivings, my examiner asked me to pull up on the left about 2 or 3 times. And make sure before you restart again the car, you make sure you look your mirror on the wall. You make sure, and then don't forget your shoulder check like this, quick one like that. Because if you don't do that, guys, they will fail you in a serious fault. If someone come, if you start the car, and then there's someone coming behind you, and you did not check that, they mark you as serious fault, and you fail the test. And then one thing, guys, that I'm telling you is when you are in a runabout and it's busy runabout and you forgot your signal, they mark you as serious fault on that. So make sure you put your signal when it's a busy road, when there is someone who will benefited your signal. So don't forget your signal, guys, especially in a busy road that someone needs you, someone will benefit your signal. And then one thing is that I experienced during my 40 minutes driving is when nobody there, you don't need to signal. Your instructor will tell you anyway that he or she will observe you if you're really a competent drivers. If you know how to control your car smoothly, they can detect, guy. They are professional examiners, so they knew it if you are really if you really deserve a pole driving license in the United Kingdom, because they have a high standard of driving in this country, very high. They are so very careful on whom they give a license in this country. So my advice, guys, is before you take your test, make sure you have a lot of practice with your driving instructors, all kinds of road, and make sure that you have also a lot of practice experience on the road. And my experience, guys, is I always get nervous when I get there. When I'm almost at my test, I always nervous. But nervousness, if you have, it's okay to have nervous, but not too much. That's my experience. Don't do it too much, nervousness, because everything that is too much is bad, guys. That's what happened to me in my first driving test. I failed because I'm too nervous and I forgot to signal in the runabout when it's so busy road. That is the first driving test that I have done. I failed because of signal. So that's my advice, guys. Don't forget your signal when it's busy road and someone is benefited your signal. So they will fail you on that if you forget to signal. So that's my advice. So one thing is when you pull up on the left, the examiner will ask you to pull up on the left 2 or 3 times. Make sure that you know how to control the car, and make sure that you are looking they observe you if you look your mirror, and then your right shoulder check. don't forget, guys, your right shoulder check like that. And then up, if you pull up and someone is coming on, then you did not check, that is a mark as a serious fall. So make sure, guys, that my advice, don't forget to check your final right shoulder check, your right shoulder like that. Just like a quick like that. So, and then one of my experience also, guys, is when I was in the dual carriageway, when you join the dual carriageway, and you always check uh, on your right, and my examiner almost dropped the wheel, but I said to my examiner, I already seen that. I've seen that already, so I slow down, and I let the car is so fast, it's very very fast, that car in the dual carriageway. So I slowed down, and then I joined the dual carriageway. But I said to my examiner that I already seen that fast car. But in that moment, I think I got only a minor in that. I did not. I did not get a serious on that, because I told to her that I see this that a past car. And those, guys, observation is so important. That's why my advice is observation is so important in during the test. Observation, mirror, your the you're competent, and then how you control the car. What else that my advice is, you need to show to your examiner that you are in control of the car. You have to show that you are a safe driver. And one is my advice is, during the test, guys, never give a reason that the examiner will fail you. You always check your mirrors. That is my advice. And I got minors on that last test that I have. I got minors, but in the end, I passed my test. Even though I'm a bit nervous, I did make it. The last one that my examiner asked me is reverse parking on the bay. I already done my 40 minutes driving, and then when we arrive at the test center, she asked me to park in any of the bay in the parking center. So it may not be the same of what I got, but some examiner will ask your maneuver in the beginning of the test, or in the end of the 40 minutes driving, I should say, guys. In the beginning of your driving test, or in the end of the 40 minutes driving test. It depends on the instructor on what he prepared to do for you. So only my advice is, have a lot of driving lessons with your driving instructors, or if you have a friend that will sit with you. And I use this, guys, as a private that time before I pass my driving before I pass my practical driving test. So what else that I should for those who are nearly doing their practical driving test, make sure you have enough sleep that day. Don't get so nervous, just relax, be prepared, and then you have to shoot that examiner that um, you are a safe driver. That's all you have to show. In 40 minutes, you have to show that you are a safe driver, that you are a confident driver because what they're looking for, if you are safe in the road, that's what they're looking for. It's not only for your safe and for your safety, it's also for the safety of your passenger and the safety of the people who is also driving on the road, like us, like you. So those who are doing their practical driving tests, don't tell anyone that you are going to have a test in that day because of the don't tell anyone other than your family that you have your test. It's better that way, guys, rather than telling it to the whole world. You have to keep it yourself and your only close friends. That's my advice, because I did not tell it to anybody when I have my test. It's just only your close family or your close friend, only few who will know that day that you have a test. And then one thing more is you need a lot of rest that day. But when I have a test that day, guys, I'm not really feeling well, but I still did it in the end. I'm not really nervous, but I'm not feeling so good that day. I have hay fever. I have, how do you call that? I have runny nose. Yeah, I'm not really feeling so good that day, but I still go on my test. I still keep going. So to those guys who are doing their driving test, my advice is if you don't pass in the first time, it's not the end of the world. You can still don't quit. Either don't quit. It's not the end of the world. You can still make it. Keep going, and then uh, the point that you did not pass, they will tell you your weaknesses, and then you have to improve that point that you did not pass. It's not the end of the world if you don't make it. Just keep going, keep trying, believe yourself, listen to your driving instructors advice, and listen to your guts, and always think, always focus on what you're doing. So guys, good luck to those who are doing their driving tests. Hopefully you'll pass your test. Good luck to all of you, and hopefully I see you in the road. Okay, have a nice day and happy viewing. Please subscribe my channel and like my video. Thank you so much.